olid siis tõepoolest säravaimad hetked, mis said niimoodi pildile talletatud, aga nüüd meie läheme siit edasi meie vabatahtlikega, kelle mina siit usinasti kinni püüdsin kohe areeni alt, kui niimoodi saab öelda. Aga tutvustage ennast, et kes te olete ja mis see teie amet on siin?
Mina olen Heidi ja mina olen pressikeskuse tiimis.
Ja mina olen Aliina, olen akrediteerimistiimis ja ka gatekeeper.
Ja mis teid ajendas üldse tulema siia võistlusel vabatahtlikuks?
No tegelikult mind juba eelmine aasta sõbrad kutsusid siia, et ma ise tegelen ka uisutamisega, et see on niisugune vahva kogemus. Ning eelmine aasta käisin, väga meeldis ning kutsuti see aasta tagasi ning siin ma olen.
Mina ka tegelen iluuisutamisega, tahtsin vaadata, kuidas võitlused toimuvad seespool ja siis otsustasin minna vabatahtlikus, et näha, kuidas on maailmameistri juunioride võistlused siin.
Aga millised hetked on teil vabatahtlikena kuidagi ekstra meelde jäänud, et kui olete varem ka käinud ja või siis sellest aastast juba?
No ma arvan, et üleüldse mulle kõige rohkem meeldib kogu see võistlusatmosfäär ja ka siis sportlaste niimoodi emotsioonid peale kava, et need on väga huvitav kogeda.
Mulle kõige rohkem meeldib näha, kuidas kõik võistlused toimuvad, mida ma saan teha ja kuidas võistlevad inimesed, kes alles tulevad siia ja see on väga huvitav.
Kas teil on olnud ka mõni naljakas või selline ootamatu olukord?
No eelmine aasta oli niisugune juhtum, et oli siis poodiumile astumine ja ühe riigi, kui ma õigesti mäletan, oli Gruusia, siis selle lippu ei olnud. Nüüd ma ei tea, kas oli kadunud või üldse ei olnud seda. Aga siis me pidimegi hakkama otsisime ringi mööda jäähalli ja publiku seast, aga õnneks keegi ikkagi lõpuks leidis selle lipu, seega olukord tegelikult lahenes suht kiiresti.
No juba tänatud.
Ja kuna olen akrediteeringustiimis, siis meil oli juhtunud see, et kui uued liikmed tulevad gruppi, siis me peame neid õpetama, kuidas programm töötab ja siis me printisime meie tiime liidere koera akrediteeringut juba 100 korda.
Aga kumba pidi teile endale võib-olla rohkem meeldib, kas see, kui te oletegi ise iluuisutajad, võistlete, käite kusagil võistlustel niimoodi, vaatate selle pilguga seda võistlust ja kõike atmosfääri või siis vastupidi, kus te olete tagatubades?
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Tallinn, Estonia, day 2 of the Junior World Figure Skating Championships. I'm Ted Barton, along with Mark Hanratty. The pairs free program coming up in just a few moments. It's the first medal event. We've had some great skating in the women's event, Mark, obviously yesterday in the men's as well, and the pairs short.
Yes, some fantastic performances in Japan, leading the field in the singles competitions with Ryo Nakata and Mao Shimada, triumphant after the short programs there. But it is Canada that leads the fields in this pairs competition about to take place. And
yeah, we were talking about that just a few minutes ago, and it's going to be interesting because Jasmine and Kieran are currently in the lead with 62.84. Ava and Jonathan of Canada as well, 62.22, so very, very close. But the Chinese team is right behind by about 4 points, and that is not a lot in pair skating.
And just in comparison to a season ago, the teams that are here in 1st, 2nd and 4th were in 6th, 8th and 10th a year ago. So there's a new generation emerging, and it's exciting to see what will unfold, because to win a junior world title often does dictate a future success as a senior as well.
Yeah, and I think the two Canadian teams going into the free program probably have a better overall program, if you will, in performance and perhaps even skating skills to a certain degree. However, the Chinese team have spectacular pair elements, really, and solo elements as well. So it's going to be a battle of, sort of all-round and technical versus each other, of course. So we'll see what happens. It's very close, very exciting. And then in fourth place, Olivia Flores and Luke Wang of the United States are not far behind as well. They have a battle and a shot at the podium.
And they, having had a medal a couple of years ago, they want to return to the podium. As we see the judges who will decide which of the teams will take the silverware home from Tallinn, Estonia at this year's World Junior Figure Skating Championships.
Yeah, and fifth place also Hanna Herrera and Ivan Hopta from Ukraine. They are just 4 points, or just about 4 points out of a medal position as well. So lots can happen here. That's what makes these events so exciting. There's no runaway, that's for sure.
Too true. And all of the teams, some of them have much more established partnerships, some of them very new to each other, including Hannah and Ivan, who you just mentioned, in fifth place. But this will be the first 4 teams who finished between 13th and 16th place after yesterday's short program.
Well, we came off the women's short program with 9 groups, but we're dealing with 4 here, which is a little easier. So we take a look at the start order before group number 1. Of course, during the Olympic Games, we saw such an exciting pair of sort of unpredictable results on the unexpected results in the short program, and such a comeback. But it's hard to imagine going into the lead after the short program at Olympic Games, and you've never been prepared for that position. I don't even think the German team felt that would happen.
Well, no, it's interesting, and I've seen subsequent interviews with them suggesting you feel disappointed having lost the lead after the first portion of the event, but for them to get any kind of Olympic medals, obviously a huge accomplishment. But it's interesting, based on what happened in Milan versus then what happened in 2018, it's becoming perhaps a little bit of a habit that teams that were outside the top medal contenders after the short program usurp the others and run away with gold, based on what Miura and Kihara did, coming from 5th.
Well, they always say, you'd rather be the hunter rather than the hunted. And you can't even begin to explain when there's a bunch of people hunting you down. It's not very nice. It doesn't feel very good, right? And it adds a whole new psychological stress or pressure or situation which you have to learn to handle, and you can't practice.
No, and as ever, always the psychology of sport and the psychology of preparation definitely playing into the hands of the athletes as they cope with first the pressure of being here, and then the implications of the results from the first portion of competition.
Yeah, I always thought it'd be funny, some of the skaters go, no, I don't want to win the short. I want to be close, but I don't want to win. But that's the reality of the competition. We'll see that unfold a little bit later on in group number 3 and 4. Any questions have come in?
No, well, opportunity for us to send a request out for any questions that those of you listening in have of us. That said, Ted, I'm pretty sure that I've had some connection through our various different social media channels. There was one request, a plea for the International Skating Union to, on their social media, promote the artists of the sport, and perhaps to give more light and recognition to the athletes that do not make the podium places. I have to say, I think that the ISU social media is quite brilliant.
Oh, I see. Yes. Yeah. Rather than just the winners or so. But, the social medias are short hits and fast hits, and yeah.
Tricky to give everybody the recognition that they deserve, but certainly the ISU is growing in its following. Over 600,000 now following.
Well, they won an award, I think, about a year and a half or 2 years ago about their social media, and of course it has simply exploded since then as well. So they've done a great job, and won't be able to serve all needs of all people or all wishes all the time, but they've done a great job, and we've worked with the social media team on the Junior Grand Prix. They do a super job.
Yeah, and for the ever-changing viewing culture globally, it's tricky sometimes to take the performances that we'll see now of 3 minutes plus and tighten them into short social media worthy content, but they do a great job.
It's a whole new job for a number of different people who are responsible for social media that didn't even exist before, right?
Yeah.
There used to be studios that would edit. Now it's individuals editing on their phone and getting it up online.
Yeah, and the way in which it is done as a whole operation.
You're pretty good with it.
Well, it's a prerequisite, and to some degree, as we look at these skaters on screen now, whilst I am a pro advocate for athletes and young people not being on screens, there is an element of acknowledgement that it is the future. And we know the wonderful Michaela, who is an ambassador for the International Skating Union, who has made a career out of creating figure skating social media content in amazing places around the globe.
And a lot of your responsibility on dancing on ice and social media for your commentating here and your other project relies on your social media following. You have quite a large following.
And actually, that said, because of the way in which I am forever eager to represent these athletes better, I hunt them down on their respective social media to try and get some more information about them. So I may in one breath say that I don't want them to be online, and in another breath, hoping that they'll give us details of their life for us to share.
So you're the hunter.
Yeah.
In that case, for information. That's for sure. Well, at my stage and age, you go, okay, I have a little bit of social media, but you're going, who's interested in an old guy, that's for sure.
Everybody wants to know about Ted Barton.
Oh, yeah,
Especially when he's dancing on TikTok.
Yeah, but you made me do that.
Wasn't me.
You made me look bad, really bad. Worse than I could be.
And there we see Neem Davison and Daniel Borisov.
Yeah, we talked about their abilities. We've seen that talent. It's starting to really shape up. There's a long ways to go yet.
And what's exciting in getting to know a little bit more intel about these athletes is to acknowledge that Neve's auntie has traveled over in secret to come and watch and support her.
So she doesn't know the auntie's there.
Yeah, Neve doesn't know that Kelly is in the venue, and she's going to surprise Neve, having doubled up as one of her coaches as well.
I hope she's incognito so she doesn't get recognized.
I'm going to keep my eyes peeled to see if I can spot her in and around the venue.
Luca Domate, he does such a great job. And
great guy. And Luca, like some of the other coaches here, he also works for the International Skating Union in developing other skating nations, and Luca's done a wonderful job in giving the expertise and knowledge that he has to developing nations.
It's really good to have the youth and energy combined with sort of experience, age and experience, right? And that's a great combination. We have a coaching community of tremendously experienced people, and then we have a younger group of coaches that have all the energy and desire to take the baton.
It's so true, and actually in that training place, the ice lab in Bergamo, you have Franca her name is it Biancotti?
Yeah.
Franca, the coach, the illustrious Italian coach, who is then passing the baton, and therefore they in the ice lab have got expertise built upon decades worth of experience with the likes of Luca D'Amate, who is obviously fresh with energy and vigor.
I think this sport is in good hands, that's for sure. And coming off the heels of the Olympic Games, the interests around the world, now it's going to be the mission of the ISU and the federations around the world to make sure that enthusiasm is fed by either social media or by good skating or by opportunities, whatever.
And hopefully continued exposure of the athletes as humans, as well as great skaters. We saw, I don't know all of those that are being captured on camera in this audience in the Tondebara Ice Hall, but certainly we've seen the parents of Jasmine de Roche, and I think we see other family members who are here to support, and it's wonderful for the skaters to have that whilst in the venue. And what a moment for this team. Laura Gal, Julian Smagier, a couple who have only just teamed up about 7 months ago, quite recently found out that they had achieved the qualifying score to compete here, representing Switzerland.
From Switzerland, Laura Gotch and Lenis Maget. You know, Mark, listen, they had some struggles at the beginning of the program, but they really settled down and got together, got on the same track, and finished the program quite strongly.
And such testament to Laura and Lenis that they have made this partnership such a bond between them after, you know, just half a year. This is only their 6th competition ever, and so now hoping to really carry the flag for Swiss skating.
Yeah, but that's very impressive to be a little unsettled at the beginning of the program, but at a certain point that just stopped. And they got organized, they got on the same track, the timing was better, everything settled down.
And great for us to see as they depart the ice there, to see the instilled respect that they have to showcase to one another as they depart the ice. Yeah. And that a foundation for which they can build on moving forward.
Very, very important qualities in developing and growing a partnership.
They wanting to follow in the footsteps of Villemot and Bouvard, who were just off the podium last year for the same nation. This was a tough ball for
That's a hard
Laura.
ball, and I think that unsettled her in the beginning, but she really got it together a little bit later in the program.
And, you know, looking at the way in which Laura hits the positions in the air, you would know that she's so new to this discipline.
No.
And actually, although the difficulty of this 3-jump combo, double salcho and 2 single axels wasn't high, they are well matched. They represent a good match in this early stage.
Yeah, and she just needs more time to feel comfortable in the air, in these positions here, on a throw particularly. That back inside death spiral, good arch in the back. The head is lower than the knee, her knee.
And actually, this difficult entry into the pairs combo spin I thought was particularly good. A little exhale from Linus there.
Yeah, like, okay, end of the program. So much going on with not a lot of, you know, time to develop the partnership and train the program to a level that it could be 100% comfortable.
They had some amazing scenes when they found out, I think it was the Bavarian Open, when they found out that they had achieved the score to compete here. There was just such elation and celebration.
Well, there's the score for the free program, 74.16. They are the first team out in this event. Fairly happy with that score, with a total competition score of 118.58. Yep, absolutely. Thumbs up. Another experience gained on the Junior World stage. Our next team represents France, 15-year-old Romain Telemac and 20-year-old Luca Collot.
And this team returning to the free skate that they chose last season. A great piece, great vehicle from the tracks The Chosen One, Spirits, and I Wanna Dance.
from France, Romain Talmac and Luca Collin. I just wanted to mention her positions in the air are spectacular. So it's really well done on those lifts. We'll take a look at some of the elements. Unfortunately, they had the fall on the double axel for Romain.
Yeah, and then the mistake for Luca later on the second side-by-side. But for me, the return to this program, the concept, the crazed doll, was to help to give 2 seasons ago Romain the opportunity to shine in interpretation as well, because Luca was always so strong in that aspect, and now they are well matched. And this season has been really hard for a team that made top 7 in the Junior World Championships last year. They made the Junior Grand Prix final the season before this, and now this season has been tough. But in some ways, the challenges that they've had, I still see actually even greater potential in them than when they were having better results last year.
I agree, and that would be hard for them to understand because they're feeling it and they're feeling the challenges. But when you take a look at the qualities that they are improving on, they may not garner the big points at the moment, but they're being added to the list of qualities that you need long term.
Yeah, and I really do believe in the longevity of the team more than I even did when they were successful last season. And their choreographer here, Louis Tarrant, is here. He has been a big part of the team, as is Romain's mum, Emily, the coach. Now, electing on this occasion to do double throw, they did go for the triple in the short program. They can do it well, but it's been less consistent here.
You can see Romain not tight in the air, leaning outside the circle, had to take the fall. He used to throw double salchow, triple salchow, pardon me, but she opens up beautifully there. Strong back, punches the arm in the pre-leg back. There's the back outside Despar. There's a lot of really good qualities here that when it gets more seasoned and more time, then these lift. Now, there is one lift that is in the minus GOEs, the Group 5 reverse lift, level 3, level 1 now, actually.
And they're just slipping on takeoff for Luca, just unable. That looked like a bit of a sore fall with his arm behind his back as well. But now this team, because of Romain's age, they will compete junior again next season. But now, hopefully, beyond this, they can regroup, reset with mom, coach, choreographer, and just move forward towards hopefully next year's Junior Grand Prix better than ever.
Well, let's take a look at the free program scores for Romain and Luca. It's 75.57, that's first in the free program. Second team out, of course, with a total competition score of 121.64, as they, for the moment at least, take the lead. And you can see the little chuckle. I like the possibilities of this team.
Me too.
I really do. It may look rough on the outside, and it is at the moment, but they've got some good qualities. Representing Slovakia, 15-year-old Laura Hechkova and 16-year-old Alex Volki. This is their second trip to the Junior Worlds.
And actually talking about teams that you have expectations and high hopes for, that's definitely the case for Laura and Alex. Their skating skills and components would have had them much higher in their short program, but they struggled a little with technical mistakes.
Well, 10 elements for Laura and Alex, and 8 of them in the plus GOE, so that's really good news.
Yeah, and again, to confirm, this is the youngest team in the event, and a couple of skaters that have relocated their whole life at such an early stage to pursue this passion of being elite world-class ice skaters. They moved to Bergamo to train at the Ice Lab, and being there with the likes of Luca D'Amati and Andre Otterek, they have an environment alongside the likes of Rebecca Gilardi, Filippo Ambrosini, Sara Conti, Nicolo Macci, some great seniors. They seem somewhat destined for success. This, though, was a tactical, they didn't do the throw triple toe, throw double. It looks like there's a long-term athlete development plan for this team.
Absolutely. I think building a pair team is probably the most challenging of all the disciplines.
Yes.
To be honest with you.
And this team have acknowledged that they had a lot of injuries, but the support they had from their coaches has helped them navigate those more positively.
There's a good split on that double twist. That comes in at a level 3, so 3 out of the 4 features. Watch the double axles. Get up in the air, leave at the same time, land at the same time, hang on at the same time to survive. And the triple Sauerkraus, just a step out for Laura.
And interestingly, next season, the 3-jump combo, which has been seen in both juniors and seniors, not likely to be something that pair teams will do next year, as we continue to navigate what changes will be made. And actually, looking at these sites now, some of the choreo sequence showcase some of the reason this team had higher component scores. Even they did, obviously, the spread, spiral, but then the unibar with the head roll. They've got awareness and mindfulness of good body movement for the program components.
Yeah, good you mentioned about long-term development. I mean, these coaches have to build a strategy. It's like building a house. It doesn't just appear. You got to put a foundation down, then you got to put the walls down, or the framing down, or the gyprock down, or whatever. It takes time, one thing at a time, and you have to build it properly in the right order. 82.49 season's best for Laura and Alex in the free program, with a total competition score of 129.63, as they, for the moment, at least take the lead. And smiles all around, and a kiss and cry. It's good news. Our next team represents Great Britain. Both are 21 years old. Neem Davison, Danielle Borisov. And we've talked about the potential of this team, and we've seen improvement over the past year or so, and more building blocks to be presented right now.
As they skate to Dream On and Postmodern Jukebox.
Well, representing Great Britain, Neen Davison and Danielle Borisov. And again, you know, I think we look at it a little bit differently than maybe just the fans that are watching on the screen. We're looking at where are the golden nuggets, and there are some wonderful moments. Well, that was a tough skate for Danielle, there's no question.
Yeah, and Niamh, I know that she so wanted desperately to compete at this caliber of event, and to have found a partner at Tall is a challenge. And then for her to have found a partner that rotates in the same direction, because it's the less conventional clockwise rotating direction. And although Daniel, you know, he's new to the discipline, he almost gave up the sport before this partnership. And although he's still struggling, you know, he'll kick himself for the fall and the throw, but he, I think, has such huge potential.
He does, and one of his problems, one of the challenges for him, he's so darn strong that his tendency will be to muscle things. Okay, on the lift, no problem, but on the jumps, no. You need the timing and technique, and it just looks like he hasn't have enough mileage yet.
And actually, as we've seen, you know, they can do side-by-side triple salchows, electing to just do the doubles here, but as we've seen in and around the venue this week, there's the split triple twist. He's been constantly warming up, constantly cooling down. I sense it's a guy that's desperately eager to do well and to look after Niamh and do well for the partnership as well, but there's just so much to learn here. I don't want to look at what happens. He's so invested.
Yeah,
they just need to pick that clip, did they? That's a bit unfair. But they have to go seniors next year.
Yeah.
And now, you know, they'll have the off-season.
I think this team can be a very attractive team, but they've got some mileage to go in order to, you know, tighten up those weaknesses at the moment, because there are some strengths. She has a wonderful position in the air. His turns are a little bit wide with his feet, and that's a little bit choppy.
And we've also spoken a lot about, obviously, Daniel's potential, but also Niamh's, the energy that she gave back to her partner, the care that she gave back.
Yes.
Because, you know, what she saw, look, there, straight away, grabbing the hand, making sure there's connection and support, and that's invaluable.
Yeah.
Lucky to have each other and found each other.
Yeah, very good. Let's take a look at the scores. So 71.36, that's fourth in the free program with a total competition score of 118.80. That'll put them for the moment into third place. And look, she's continued to encourage him, because that would be a discouraging performance for him. He'll feel guilty about that, but it's teamwork and it's time and it's a journey. It doesn't happen overnight.
Can't buy that kind of support between two humans in sport.
That is going to pay dividends. This team has abilities, but they've got work to do.
Time.
And there's a look at the first 4 teams standings. The next group take to the ice.
We have the Romance languages to start. Italy and France dominating this group. And there we see Irina and Eduardo, who find themselves in 4th place 2 years ago at the Junior World Championships, wanting to climb back to within the top 10, having placed 12th last year. And they, a team that couldn't train at their regular location, the Forum in Milan, their home rink, was closed since December the 15th because it had to close for the Olympic Games, so they've had to divide their training between Sesto and Bergamo. But on the flip side of that, they then, by being Italian national team members, were exposed to other opportunities of seeing great skaters coming to their nation for the games. So
and
pros and cons.
You know, for the juniors, this is, as we've mentioned often, because it's true, it's just part of the journey. So they've got more time, more years coming, and so this, even though there's disruptions perhaps, it's not a bad timing for them. If it's at the end of your career as you're going for a gold medal in the Olympic Games, that's a problem, right?
And it's unclear for, you know, there was such an emergence of Italian pairs over the last 2 Olympic cycles, and now Irina and Eduardo and this couple, Polina and Gabriel, need to try and take over the mantle of the teams like Rebecca and Filippo. Although, again, I would not dare to say who will be retiring after this Olympic cycle. That all remains to be seen, but certainly the future belongs to the juniors to some extent.
Not dare to.
After, don't feed into any rumor mill, Mark.
Yeah, exactly.
And as I mentioned in the short program for Polina and Gabriel, much like Irina and Eduardo, they were used in testing the Olympic venue prior to the team event. So they were saying what an amazing experience it was for them to feel a part of the Olympics to some degree. Of course, not competing in it yet, but I'm sure those experiences will have motivated them to try to become Olympians in the future.
Yeah, to have an Olympics at home is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity.
Yeah.
However you can participate or even just be around it, if you know you don't even get in the venues, it's something special. Of course, we had the 2010 games in Vancouver, and that was an incredible experience for many people, our athletes and coaches as well.
And talking of home Olympics, perhaps for the team on screen now, Louise Erhard and Matti Pellegrini, they will be motivated, I'm sure, by the concept of competing at home Olympics when 2030 has the French Alps as the destination for the Olympic Winter Games next.
Yeah, the timing for this team could be just fitting in nicely. 4 more years of development.
And for Louise and Matti, they will be glad to find themselves in the top 10 after the short program, having finished 12th and 13th in their previous performances at Junior Worlds.
Big throw. But Julia and Etienne from Canada look great in the air, just maybe a little bit too big of a throw.
And that a team that they've just had an amazing season, new as a pairing, making the Junior Grand Prix final, but they're acknowledging before this competition that understandably they're ready for an off-season and a little bit of a break.
They needed time to train and to learn together, right?
Yeah.
And they just had such success and so many opportunities they wanted to take. It took time away from that training and those, hours and days of learning to work with each other and getting comfortable. But on the flip side, they're getting good experience.
Yeah, absolutely. And their program component scores would have had them much higher in this short program also, but the technical element score was what found them adrift of others. So should they be able to deliver today, then they have definitely the potential to move up, as we see Matteo and some of the Italian coaches. The men's representative here, let's look at the Matteo, wears the Italian team jacket. And Cristina Mauri in the distance as well. It's a bit of an Italian domination in this group.
It's sort of interesting to be around the Italians. They have such a high after the Olympic Games and the thrill of the team bronze medal and the excitement and will that energy continue. Italy has done such a fantastic job at putting their development program because they weren't really even so much competitive in the team event in the past.
No.
Right? But they had a goal of the home games to put things together, and they made it work.
And that takes us to an interesting discussion point because Italy in the medal table at the Olympic Winter Games, not just in figure skating, but across all winter sports, meteorically moved up the standings. And that's so often the case that there's more investment from a host nation to deliver the success. And that speaks to the investment in athletes having a consequential impact. So if there are any governing bodies listening, or if there's anybody, if we can speak to it, then if we can invest in these athletes and in their training and in their experiences, the results will improve inevitably.
Yeah, well, the investment happens in the lead up to home games, and after that, it's hard to justify to the public. And so, it's a challenge to keep the level of support that's required for these athletes, all the athletes, no matter where the games are, to compete at the highest level.
And certainly at this World Junior Championship, so often it is the parents that are supportive. And as we look at Louise now, Louise is wearing a dress worn by her coach Lola previously.
You see another crown being built?
Another crown, yep. Maybe some will be handed out in the pairs event. But yes, just further confirmation that there's so much support self-funded for the athletes, and hopefully their success will be rewarded by governments and governing bodies to take them into the senior ranks.
Or corporate.
Hey, good point. Yes, corporate.
Get one or another.
Get your social media content and corporate gigs, guys.
Yeah. Especially now, strike, the iron
yes,
right?
Yes. Hey.
Well, our first team in this group, we represent Italy, 18-year-old Irina Napolitano and a 20-year-old Eduardo Comi.
And this experienced team will be hoping to bank on all of that wisdom that they've gained over the years skating to Magnifica Anime. Italy's Irina Napolitano and Edoardo Comi complete their free skate. A team trying to continue pushing their technical element score at this event, particularly this competition, the first time that they have included a triple twist. And that, in addition to having two side-by-side triple jumps at their disposal, one throw triple, is a very competitive content on their plan program content sheet. Unfortunately, by continually pushing themselves to keep giving more senior criteria content, it's more challenging to obviously deliver a consistency. And that will hopefully level out in time as Irina departs the ice towards Cristina Mauri. And we can see what the team is obviously endeavoring to do by pushing themselves to include that senior type of content and increase their difficulty. The aspiration is to climb back towards the results that they've had a couple of seasons ago. Here, we see a triple twist, obviously without the cleanest of catches, but better than some of those that have been in practice this week, as Irina struggles to cling to the landing of the side-by-side triple salto. But for a team who have had such success early on in their partnership, it's then difficult to come to terms with the difficulties that they've faced in less stellar results over the past season. But hopefully things will continue to stable out now with the criteria that they're using, the content that they're using, more repetition, and again, as we have said with other teams, an off-season with which to consolidate. Although that said, I'm sure they will be intending to include a second throw triple jump, having just seen the throw double flip performed as the third from last element in this free skate. And having mentioned in warm-up the experience that they had during the Winter Olympic Games, whereby they were exposed to other world-class athletes, sometimes that too can even heighten the aspiration that the skaters have, and falling short of that, sometimes challenging. So a score some 20 points lower than scores that they have had previously. It's difficult to accept, but certainly, as I say, the content there, with hopefully an off-season to come, which will see them rebound in the 2026-2027 season. And the Italian support team gets back to their feet to support Polina Pollmann and Gabriele Rinaldi. They were second to Irina and Edoardo at the Italian Junior National Championships at the tail end of 2025. But they are the leading Italians coming into the free skate as they skate to Can't Pretend by Tom Odell. Polina Pullman and Gabriel Rinaldi. Polina really supporting Gabriel. He's had a tough week this week in Tallinn, Estonia, and a great support network for Gabriel this week, both in performance and off the ice. And they will be delighted to have secured both of the throw triple jumps. Just sending a signal there from Gabriel to the heavens above. And Polina shipping a heart as she heads towards Luca. And that potentially a skate that will secure a new ISU personal best for Polina and Gabriel. Their previous ISU PB comes from the Junior Grand Prix a couple of seasons ago of 82.78, but the side-by-side triple salcos with the 2 single axles and the opening split twist, everything pretty solid apart from a popped axle from Polina. This was good though. After a little mismatch in the timing of the salcos, regrouping on the 2 single axles, and that a 6-point technical element score boost. As we see the first of the 2 throw triples successfully done. Throw triple salve. The throw triple loop was the first of the 2 throws, and you can see the elation on the face of Polina to have nailed both. And now they effectively are trying to take their training mates off top spot, the Slovakians Laura and Alex, who lead the field, a team that they train with in Bergamo. And Ice Lab, the training location that Polina's shouting out to while they sit awaiting their scores. So it's 87.16 for Polina and Gabriel. And a double thumbs up. And they'll be looking forward to getting back to their families now after their second Junior World Championship experience.
Our next team represents France. 21-year-old Louise Zedhart and 22-year-old Matthias Pellegrini. This is their 3rd appearance at the Junior World Championships. Last year, they placed 13th.
And their goal for this event, definitely to head into the top 10. Skating to Memoirs of a Geisha.
representing France, Louise Edhard and Matthias Pellegrini. The first three elements, Mark, on their program had minus GOEs, but everyone after that, they were in the plus.
Yeah, too true, and so interesting to see the different approaches from the different teams, because Louise and Matti have a lower base value from the technical element score. They had the side-by-side double toe single axel sequence and one double throw, but as parents of Louise proudly applaud ringside, what they didn't have from a difficulty aspect, they brought with more program component score quality, so a more senior look, and that is what Louise and Matti are definitely endeavouring to do as they then transfer into the senior category next year.
Yeah, it's still the solo elements perhaps are a little bit on the weaker side. The lifts are pretty good, you know, good ice coverage, good positions, and difficult as well.
They really saw Matti punch up the two lifts.
And the twist doesn't get the height necessarily, so the triple twist at level 2 is in the minus GOEs. The single axel, of course, and the triple Salchow throw.
But
That was neat.
that was cool, and the choreography by Pierre-Loup Bouquet we see here at just a single for Louise, double for Matti on the intended side-by-side double axles, and a 2-foot landing here on the throw. Triple Salchow forces that negative grade of execution as opposed to the easier but more successful throw double loop. But yeah, I was going to say, Ted, as we look at some of the overhead, that Pierre-Loup Bouquet, the choreographer, he is brilliant, I think, underutilized perhaps, and so therefore the composition and the presentation of the program superior to the other athletes, and aided perhaps by seeing this double toe single axel sequences, because that's easy for Louise and Matti. They were able then to give more to the likes of this, which was the choreo sequence.
Yeah. True. Well, their season's best is 51.23.
That's the short program. So
Oh, sorry, pardon me. 92.22. That would be a little bit small.
That would be, yeah.
92. And this will come somewhat close to that score.
Lola.
He might have been hit on
Yeah.
the twist, perhaps. Let's take a look. Pre-program score for Louise and Matthias. It's 90.73. That is first in the free program. Not of approval with a 140.68 total competition score. That will now put them in the lead.
And they're achieving the top 10 goal that they set out to do. Justifying that celebration.
Our final team in this group represents Canada, 19-year-old Julia Kotoki and 20-year-old Etienne Lacasse. A good season with the 3rd and 4th place finish on the Junior Grand Prix. They qualified for the Junior Grand Prix final.
And you can see already the performance started before the music, as we see a completely different energy from Julia and Etienne. Their free skate to the music by Sleeping at Last, the track Turning Page. Well, the first season for Canada's Julia Kotrocki and Etienne Lacasse, and they have achieved so much in this early partnership. Junior Grand Prix finalists, this, the Junior World Championship debut for them as a team. And as they have said, they're understandably exhausted at the end of a busy and tiring season, but so grateful to be here to relish the chance to perform in front of their family who have made the trip.
Well, when
to
they
Tallinn.
come together as a team, the first time you think you've got a year or two before you get to this level, but it all happened in one year. And so we talked about the, slow process or progress on some of the elements because they never really had as much time to train and to get to know each other. But they've done that in competition, and that's extremely valuable.
And in watching them, if this is the first time of viewing this team at the Junior World Championships, you'll be able to recognize that they have so much potential from a presentation perspective, because this so different to the short program, and actually this probably the preference for me in the
I would say
the way in which they interpret so well, and they make a good energetic match, I think.
Yeah, you can see moments of sensitivity and connection together and with the music, and when that is expanded throughout the program, as they get more comfortable and confident in the technical elements, that's going to start to really unfold into a really strong team.
And they can do throw triple loop. There's stuff ready and waiting to be released by the team in their planned program content, but they need a little break.
Not enough mileage yet. Yeah.
And look at the emotion, so vivid and evident at the start.
There's the double axles at the top of the program. She squeaks that out, puts her foot down. But a lot of the mission is really to stand up for them. They're not going to be perfect at this stage. It's new. There is the throw. Well executed, opens up just beautifully for the landing. Nice stretch, good speed, back inside death spiral.
And as we relive some of the highlights of the performance, you can see they were engaged emotionally throughout the technical elements as well. Unfortunate there for Etienne just to pop the double loops with the single axle, double toe loop.
I kept it in unison.
True. And this part of their choreo sequence, a mandatory required element for the juniors within the free skate.
Etienne has a nice feel for the music. You can see emotion in his movement, and that's not, explored yet to the degree that it will be in time.
I think he seems to be a great framework in supporting Julia.
Yeah.
Coach Stephanie Valois joins them in the kiss and cry.
Well, the free program score here is 88.64. That is second in the free program with a total competition score of 139.91. That'll also put them second overall at this stage of the competition.
Perhaps a little tough to accept, just dropping down outside of the top 10, but...
But in the big picture of things, that placement, I know it matters to them at this moment, but in the big picture, it's really the experience, the mileage that's so important as we take a look at the standings so far after two groups. It was close. That's the point.
Yeah.
We're going to take a break during the ice resurfacing, and we move on to the final two groups on day two here, a medal event. The Junior World Champions will be crowned tonight.
It's exciting stuff. You don't want to miss it.
Nope. Stay with us. We'll be back.
So I'm now here with our Canada peer, Julia and Etienne. Thank you for this lovely performance. And I just wanted to ask, is it your first time here in Estonia?
Yes, it's our first time here and our first Junior Worlds also. So.
Oh, a lot of first things together.
It's our first year too.
Okay. And I imagine it was a long flight to Estonia, to Tallinn. Have you been here in Tallinn already? Or you have been here already some days. Have you had a chance to see something, or you were just practicing all the time here?
We saw a little bit the old town of Tallinn, which was really beautiful, so yeah.
Yeah, but what plans you have after the competition tonight?
I think we're gonna cheer for our teammates for the next days, and maybe see some other place here in Tallinn, because I think there's a lot more to see than just the whole Tallinn.
How old you were when you started the skating?
I was 3 years old.
Oh, 3 years old.
And me, I was 4.
Okay, yeah. And were you a bit nervous today also, or you were very confident and just tried your best?
We were pretty confident. I mean, in practice, it works really well, I think. So I guess like when we came here, if we do what we do in practice, I know like we're capable of doing that. So yeah.
Okay, but why do you choose pair skating?
I used to do singles before, but I chose pairs because I think there's a lot more to do than just jumps and spin. I like lifts, I like throws, I like twists. So I think there's more variety in pairs. So that's why I really like doing this.
But I always wanted to do pairs since I was a little kid, and I don't know, I just love being in the air and being prone, so yeah.
And what are your dreams? Do you have any other competitions also this year, or you just keep practicing and trying your best?
This is our last competition of the season, so we're gonna go back home, take a little break, and after work for the next season, improve on the technical elements.
Okay. And now we will watch a short video about some peers here in Estonia. Ehk siis nüüd me vaatame ühte toredat videot, kus siis meie oma paarissõitjad räägivad siis ka natukene rohkem sellest alast.
Tere tulemast iluvisustamise juunioride maailmameistrivõistlusele.
Tere, mina olen Kiito Pilosa, 20 meester, paarissõidus, kus mu partneri nagu Kishikovi, kes kahjuks täna ei saa siin olla. Kohe algavad paarisõiduvõistlused. Paarisõidus on mu lemmikelemendid, hüpped ja pistol. Hi, I'm Kiito Pilosa, a two-time Estonian pair champion together with my partner, Maja Kishikova. The pair competition is about to begin. In the pair skating, my favorite elements are lifts and jumps.
Kokku on paarisõidus 2 päeva, lühtkava ja varmakaava. Lühtkava on lühimine see, et tohi lühida. Kõik elemendid peavad ideaalselt võimestama.
Vabakava on pikem, seal on rohkem hüppeid, keerukamaid kombinatsioone ja tõsteid. Vabakavas on oluline tehniline täpsus ja see, kuidas meie sõit muusikasse sobib.
In pair skating there are 2 programs, short programs and the free skate. The short programs is shorter and there is no room for mistakes. Every element has to be executed perfectly.
The free skate is longer. It includes more jumps, more difficult combinations and lifts. In both programs, technical precision is important as well as our skating matches the music.
Nautige võistlust ja elage sportlastele kõvasti kaasa. Enjoy the competition and cheer loudly for all the teams.
Now it's time for another Kahoot game. Have you ever played Kahoot?
Yes, in school.
Oh yeah, so you already know this game. I promise it's very fun game, so you can just scan the QR code that you will see on the screen. And then, of course, you can win some prizes. So we have prizes for first, second, and third position. So one prize is also ice cream. So it's gonna be a very good game. And we also have prizes from Estonian Skating Union. So please now scan the QR code because soon we will start with the game. ehk siis eesti keeles ka kõik, kes siin alal praegu on kusagil uitamas, siis nüüd me hakkame mängima Kahooti ja tõepoolest kohe-kohe läheb see mäng lahti, ehk siis tulge nüüd kohale, skanneerige QR-kood, mida te näete siis ekraanil ja siis saategi osalema hakata. Mäng ise on väga lihtne, tuleb lihtsalt paar küsimust ja siis saategi juba osaleda ja esimesele 3 kohale on olemas meil ka auhinnad, nii et tasub kindlasti ennast proovile panna. But I think we can start now. And so here comes the first question. If you skate really fast, what happened? Mis juhtub, kui sa sõidad liiga kiiresti? What do you think? You freeze, you go faster, the ice disappear, your time travel.
You go faster?
You think you go faster, and the correct answer is you go faster. So we're correct. Let's see what is the next question. In ice skating, what do you wear on your feet? Okay, I think this is easy one. Yeah, I'm sure it will be the correct answer. And we already have a lot of people who answered to this question, so I think it's really obvious. Ehk siis, mis on jalas, kui sa uisutad? Ma usun, et see on päris lihtne küsimus. Ehk siis, uisud, skates is the correct one. And now the third question. What is always coming but never arrives? Mis ei jõua kunagi kohale? We have some options here. The bus, summer, your birthday, tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
You guess tomorrow? Okay. Ehk siis, mis ei jõua mitte kunagi kohale? And the correct one is tomorrow. And now the fourth question. Okay, what color is Shrek? I think you know that.
Green.
Green?
It's green.
Green, okay. We all think it's gonna be green. Ehk siis, mis värvi on Shrek? Kõik multika ja filmisõbrad saavad nüüd kohe rutata vastustega. Ja õige vastus on green is the correct one. The next one. SpongeBob SquarePants. Where does the SpongeBob live? Kus siis Käsna-Kalle Kantpüks elab?
Pineapple.
Pineapple, okay, that was really fast. Yeah, I think this will be the correct one. Yeah, and this is correct. Now, how many blades are on one pair of figure skates?
1.
You think 1?
4 blades.
4 blades, okay. I'm gonna say 2, so we have 3 different answers. Yeah, but the correct answer is 2. Yeah, it was a tricky question.
I thought a pair of...
Yeah, pair. In Estonia, we have more than 2,300 islands. True or false? False, I think it's true. And the correct answer is... They're still questioning. Yeah, it's true. Which fruit is yellow and monkey loves it?
Banana.
Banana? Yeah, I think banana will be the correct one. And the correct answer is... banana, of course. And now, knock knock, what do you have to answer to that question?
Who's there?
Who's there? I think all the answers will say the same thing. And the correct one is all of them. Yeah. And now here comes the last question. What does llama mean in Italian? It's plate brand.
played.
And yes, actually played should be the correct one, yeah. But now let's see the podium. So third place, Dora. The second place is gonna be Albi. And first one is... Oh yeah, congratulations. The winners, please come to the doors P2 and P3 and there you will get your prizes. So thank you really much and thank you for you as well.
Thank you.
Yeah, but now it's time to make a big applause for our current leaders so you can come back. Applause! And they're coming. I will also ask one question. You can sit. So, how are the chairs?
They're really comfortable.
Really comfortable.
Yes, I'm very comfortable.
But how do you feel yourself? You're currently in the first position.
We're really happy to be in top 10. So
Yes, and we are happy. I do the vlogs for that. Good.
Good, okay. Aga nüüd teeme veel kord kõikidele osalejatele ühe suure aplausi ja meil tuleb veel sportlasi juurde. Ehk siis let's make one more big applause for all the athletes that we have here. More, you can do more. Yeah, it's gonna be better now. Thank you.
ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the third group of skaters on the ice for their 6 minutes warm-up. From Spain, Anita Mabele, Noah Quesada-Grau.
From the United States of America,
Welcome back, everyone, to day number 2 in Tallinn, Estonia at the Junior World Figure Skating Championships, the pairs free program, the last 2 groups, and medals will be awarded, and a new World Pair Champion, Junior Pair Champion will take place.
Yeah, such exciting and nerve-wracking times. The adrenaline will be high. The skaters have had official practice earlier today in the main arena. And then the anxious wait. I always think that the time between the official practice and then the competition itself can be the most daunting aspect of the day.
Yeah.
And then particularly for the skaters that we see on screen now, Anita Mapele and Noah Quesada-Grau, they have, Anita particularly has had such little experience as a competitor. She's only been doing pairs for a matter of months.
Well, you couldn't tell that in the short program.
No, and they will be elated to find themselves in 8th place after the short program with a big score of 51 points.
But the free program is a bigger challenge, of course, as we know, more difficult elements and more time. And we'll see whether that short period of time they've been together will affect them in the free program. You know, the short program, a lot of people can actually, I don't know, talking about them or the pair event, but there's some people that are short program specialists.
Yes, that's so true.
But
so true.
Handling the free program is very difficult.
Yeah, a completely different beast, especially with it 2 throw jumps as opposed to 1 in the short and 2 side-by-side jumping passes as opposed to the solitary one from yesterday.
You look at Reagan Moss and Jakub Gabavi from the United States.
And Reagan and Jakub will be a little bit disappointed, perhaps, to find themselves in 7th place. But that said, they are 5 points adrift from the bronze medal. And whilst that's a fairly seismic margin, they look comfortable and able to acknowledge their introduction to the arena.
Not impossible. You don't know what happened.
And they've actually made seismic strides because they were 17th, didn't make the free skate at Junior Worlds last year. Yushan Chen, Yin Bodong, the first of 2 Chinese teams competing, both of which had made their Grand Prix final at the end of 2025. And I believe it is this team that have really high value side-by-side jumping past triple flip and 2 double axels.
Yeah, agreed.
Which is,
you know, some of the pair elements are a little bit weaker, but the solo elements very strong. At least they've shown that in the past.
yes, and Yushan, she still new to this pairs discipline as well, a successful novice skater in China.
And, you know, we saw earlier the Junior Grand Prix, they would do the double throws, but they were massive, right?
And that's what's really interesting is to see, again, I'm always fascinated by the different technical approaches of different schools of education, and they haven't elected to play safe in regards to the height and length of the throws.
No, the Chinese teams have always had the biggest throws in the world. Russian teams are a little bit more like a twist, but consistent throws for sure. And then a little bit of difference or a little bit of hybrid, if you will, of technique in the North American teams.
And always, for me, the North Americans tend to be a little bit more program component skills, program component scores focused.
Yeah.
As we see an interesting cross of that with Hannah Herrera and Ivan Kopta. He, a former World Junior Bronze medalist, now skating with Hannah, who used to compete for the United States of America as a single skater. Whee! That was nice.
That was easy. Not your week, but
yeah. And they're really showcasing Ivan's experience and strength, obviously, with that split twist.
Exactly. It's a great twist.
How much fun it must be for Hannah to transcend it into pairs and find herself with a partner so capable of a twist like that.
And you know, not every male can do a twist like that. There are those that are explosive out of the ankles, knees, and hips, and elbows, and hands, throwing the girl up there. Some people have had, you know, a struggle. The mechanics of that is difficult for some. And they get the twist done, but not big like that.
Yes, and you know, we've seen other skaters within this field. Obviously, there are some Chinese supporters, but there are other skaters that have already competed at this Junior World Championships who have incredible physical strength, but the timing and technique can be as massive a contributor to the height and elevation given.
You need to have some strength in pairs, but it is not all about the strength. It is all about the timing, right? And then should something go wrong, the strength kicks in and you save it.
There, the Neve from the British team, and Aunt Kelly, who's been reunited or met up.
She didn't know. Neve didn't know that this off-ice teacher was here in the building.
Her auntie.
You can take a look at that lift there. Really smooth turns, nice position. Grab the blade, great ice coverage. That was beautiful.
And interesting, just to consider the sum of two parts really in the formation of a new pairs team. Because obviously, Ivan Kopta, with all the experience and wisdom he has in this discipline, able to really contribute well to this new partnering, as Regan is caught on camera just preparing.
Well, you can see the excited energy. You know, before you skate, you have nerves, but you have excitement. And they're kind of similar. One could be positive. You know, excitement is positive. Nerves can be negative. If you can get them both flying in the same direction, then you're set to go.
And of course, you know, with this the first medal event of the like the ice dance that is yet to come, the channeling of those nerves and adrenaline between two humans.
Well, you're going to have to get a good sleep tonight because you're on show tomorrow with your discipline, the ice dance.
Dun, dun, dun. Well, the ice dancers are ready. They've been waiting a long time.
Yeah, they've been here for a long time. Ready
to go. There are the ice dancers from Spain here to support. So, ice dancers ready to support the Spanish pair team of Anita Mapelli and Noah Casada-Grau. They, as I say in their warm-up, just delighted to find themselves achieving an 8th place short program and a score above 50. Now hoping for more success as they skate to the Saraban Suite. Well, what an amazing few months it has been for Anita Mapelli and Noa Quesada Grau, a team who are brought together and united by their choreographer Rafaela Casaniga, who had choreographed independently for them, I think, as single skaters prior to this, and then suggested that they make this partnership, and they have had a fairly meteoric success. This just, I think, their fourth competition together.
That's incredible when you're telling me about this, because I'm going, although it's not all refined and connected yet, you're going, there's so many strengths for such a short period of time. It's clearly emerging with this team. So what will it be in a year from now?
So true, and I think, again, as we assess the differences between the formations of partnerships, you can see their individual single skating strength, thus the triple salchow and the double axels, and the way in which, I don't think it'll be counted, but the way in which Anita fought through the axel sequence to try to get another double axel was amazing.
They kept it together. Yeah, it was amazing.
And there is Rafaela. She's just brilliant. She brings such fun energy ringside. Full of Italian passion and energy. Yeah.
Come on.
Barbara Leone, of course, such a successful coach too.
And they look pretty thrilled with that performance of their team. So we go through some of the elements in this free program.
Just remains to be seen with the big effort on the double axel sequence, whether or not her two-footed landing will negate the effort on the last double axel, which will cost them on the tech score, but we'll see.
Triple twist comes into level 3, which is great. Here's the triple salchows. Timing a little bit different, but done.
Yep. And here, now I just need to look at Anita, because I think now they'll lose anything because she two-footed the landing of the first double axel. So the valiant effort here to get back together for the single axel, and then the double axels will not be rewarded, which is a shame. But that two-footed landing.
There's the double. No, what was
double let's throw.
Double let's throw, pardon me, yeah.
And actually this, part of their
dance moves in here.
Yeah, part of their choreo sequence. They even had a choreographic slide of sorts from the dance ideology within their choreo sequence.
And it's remarkable that she can do that inside death spiral that well for such a short period of time, because that is a difficult element for someone coming new.
And they proudly represent Spain, and they are delighted to have had the support of the other Spaniards who have come to support them, even though they've got the competition tomorrow. Oh, we got a winner's chair as well.
Oh, there we go.
Louise Eja and Mati Pellegria wait to find out if they have been
if they have to stand,
seated.
They have to stand up, they can stay. Let's take a look at the scores. For Anita and Noa, it's an 84.28. Now that's fourth in the free program so far with a 135.76 total competition score. That'll keep them in fourth place overall, at least for the moment. But I think mission accomplished, experience gained, and they continue to get better every time out.
And actually for Noah, much more successful this time than his last Junior World Championship when he didn't make the free skate with a previous partner. And now to the two-time and reigning American Junior National Champions, Regan Moss and Jakub Galbavy, skating to Bohemian Rhapsody by Queen.
From the United States, Regan Moss and Jakob Galbave. Regan looked like she was having a ball all the way through that program. That smile never left her face, even if there were challenges.
Yes, and this team, they really do exude good vibes, good energy. That performance won't be like that which secured them the win at the Challenge Cup when they won in Tilburg in January. They had an over 100-point performance there, but electing to try and play a little bit safe with the content today, not doing the double axels, just 2 single axels, but then the fall on that throw triple loop was costly to them.
But it looks like they know where they are at their development, and they're kind of okay. They're trying to get better, of course. They are getting better, but enjoying it.
Yeah, they do seem present, don't they? They seem mindfully present. We saw that in the warm-up. Regan was actually both of this partnership, both in the short program and the free skate. When they were introduced to the arena, they were mindful and took the chance to acknowledge those that are here to support them, as we see the split triple twist in at level 2.
There's the throw triple Salchow. It was a little wild in the air, a little open, if you will, but she managed to hang on.
So just double Salchows. So of course, in the off season, the work will be done to try to make sure that they become triples. As we see, that was a tough fall.
It was tough. It was a better air position, faster rotation, but too far forward, slips off the picks. Look at that right arm, right by his right side of his head. So important, so that the weight of the lift is right down on his side. It does not get outside his body core.
And so for this team, though, again, just for context, although they are the 2-time and reigning US Junior champions, this participation at the World Junior Championships already, whilst not their best, is still a seismic jump from where they were at last year, where they didn't make the free skate. They were 17th. So, and as you say, they seem connected and mindful of where they're at, alongside their coach, Trudy, who both the British team and this American Junior champions seem so appreciative of all Trudy does for them.
Yeah, you know, it's so important to understand where you are in your development, journey, because otherwise your mind gets ahead of the game and then you get disappointed. They look like they're working to get better, but happy where they are for the moment, at least. 91.25, that's first in the free program with a 144.50 total competition score. Regan and Jakob take the lead.
And now they'll take the winner's chair.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Oh, I thought it was one. I thought it was just. Sorry. I obviously need glasses. I thought it was a closer result than it was.
Okay. Got me worried.
Next on the ice, representing the People's Republic of China.
Well, representing China, 13-year-old Yu Shenzhen and 17-year-old Yinbo Dong. Another Chinese team with great success on their first season on the Junior Grand Prix this year.
And so much to respect and admire in the planned program content. We've seen some brilliant examples of it in practice. They will open with a triple flip and 2 double axels as their sequences. They skate to Romeo and Juliet.
Okay, well, let's talk a little bit about our off-air comments there.
Sharing.
Because she is very special, very special. Just 13, but the maturity of someone much older, the class, the style, the posture, and the awareness.
Yeah, so true. Yu Shan, Yin Bodong, and I just would love to know a little bit about what has gone into the creation of such a very beautiful style that particularly Yu Shan has. We saw Yi Han Wang in the women's singles event earlier from the same nation that's shown there on the flag, and they have a similar body awareness. And I know that in Beijing they have the Olympic venue in Beijing is exclusive for the national figure skating team. They have access 24/7, and there will have been a huge amount of time and effort gone into the creation of skaters that have that kind of.
You know, at the age of 13 at a Junior World Championships, you kind of figure, well, okay, where am I? You're all excited about this. She clearly knows where she's at. Clearly is on a mission to do what she wants to do and completely focus. That's extraordinary for a 13-year-old. But she has the posture, she has the strength, she's got the technical elements. So that's pretty special. And he did a great job. Yin Bo Dong as well. You can't do it by yourself, so you need to have a good partner.
And there are, when you see this difficulty triple flip, it wasn't nearly as good as we saw in practice, and actually that looks, I would undertake that. And then somehow they managed to get the base value for the two double axels despite the lack of synchronicity and unison between them.
There's the split. His hands down to the side. Good catch. That comes in at a twist level 4, triple twist level 4. That's awesome. Great points earned on that element. Triple toe a little bit later. Look at that position in the air. Her head is up. He's got pretty good turns. Good, nice coverage.
And this fascinates me, the quality of the technique, and it's so synonymous with what we've seen from other Chinese teams. Just a double, but technically appears so very ready to become triple.
Yeah, that's a double under construction for a triple or a quad in the future. So well executed. Look how low she is.
To me, it's just the way she holds her left hand, and even here, like, so Romeo and Juliet, the music, here's the death of Juliet. And there's somebody that has a maturity beyond the 13 years of age that she has as Yang Ding joins them.
And we've seen this team throughout the Junior Grand Prix, keep some of the elements, I don't want to say more simple, but, basic, but they're getting better and better every time out. So they were a further distance away early on in the season.
And as we await their scores, we will see them with 101.25.
She punched her by mistake. She hit it with a yay. Season best 101.25 with a 157.99 total competition score. And they move into first.
And because of our age, we will be able to see this development through the junior ranks, because they're not going to be senior age eligible for some time to come.
Well judged. Well skated.
I'm surprised. I think they're capable of so much more than that in the not too distant future.
Oh, no. Next year, I think you'll see highly upgraded team in first most of the competitions. Our next team represents Ukraine. 21-year-old Hanna Herrera, 22-year-old Ivan Hopka. This is a very new partnership, just started in 2025.
And based on the experience, particularly that Ivan has, they had a big over 100-point score when they competed at the Skate Berlin International recently, hoping for more of the same as they skate to music by Ludovico Einaudi, the track Primavera.
from Ukraine, Hanna Herrera and Ivan Hopka. Now, 10 elements, 9 are in the plus GOEs. Such a good job on that. This team, just 1 year into their partnership, shows moments of something very special. He's got a lot of experience, obviously, but she's taken to this discipline extremely well.
Oh, she appears like the proverbial duck to water, so comfortable. And it's so interesting, we were discussing during the warm-up about the different approaches and lineages in our pairs discipline, and there's the Russian school and there's a North American school, and they seem to have brought together somehow quite seamlessly different schools of tuition and make a great combination, as we see Yehar Kurtsev and Sofia Remshina, the singles competitors from Ukraine, here happily cheating them on.
And you can see that she loves this discipline, although she's still learning it, very quickly, I might add. But she loves this discipline. This team is set a wonderful foundation for something perhaps very special. Now, you said they have 1 more year they could be in junior.
Yes, based upon the age changes within the pairs category, now you can have junior men be up to under 23 by July the 1st, and Ivan turned 22 just after, well, he was at the end of July 2025, so theoretically, I believe, I actually just need to check her age though, they could do juniors again, but they're already looking quite obviously primed for seniors, and have to just talk about the split twist. Here it is. This amazing in the way Hanna just looks so at ease there.
And she hangs in the air.
Yeah.
I mean, she just took to that element nicely. Double axels. Then the final single axel. And you can see there's a stability in their technique hop there, but that was just a mistake on that takeoff. No flaw in technique. Look at that beautiful turned out toe. And she's smiling up on top there.
Yeah, and interesting also because of the tuition that they received from Natalia Mishkatinik and Drew Meekins. They, working at the World Arena, the skating academy there, and they bring such brilliant combination of different influences as well.
They must be thrilled with the development of this team so quickly. I'm already looking forward to next year.
Yeah.
See where they're at. Well, they have a free program score. We don't actually have the free program score for them.
No, not at an ISU sanctioned big event, but they did the Skate Berlin competition, and they had 101.67 at that competition. So that gives us a little bit of an insight into the quality that they have, but I think it's going to go above that here.
Wow. And rightfully so. There you go, 103.20. That is first in the free program. Everyone looks happy with that. With a 160.15 total competition score, they take the lead. I don't want to say they're surprised, but they're very happy with that score and where they are. And that's really reflective of their abilities at this stage early on in this partnership.
Yeah, a team to look out for as Natalia scoots off because she has the team responsible to compete first in the next group.
There is a look at the standings so far. Now some pressure put on the next group.
Well, that very much the case, and Hanna and Ivan, who lead the field, they were 1.5 points behind third place. So, it's distinctly possible that Ivan could repeat as a World Junior Bronze medalist just with a different partner.
And with the group, this group that's just taking to the ice now, they were at the side of the boards when they saw that skate, or part of that skate, plus the scores. And you don't know how this all works out. It was interesting. We had a conversation with Bruno Marcotte a little earlier today. He was fascinating about, talking about that, for Jasmine and Kieran, they've never been in the lead. And a junior world championship.
Yeah, how to come to terms with that as a concept. And Jasmine and Kieran and Eva and Jonathan, they have a comfortable margin of 4 points above the Chinese team, but the Chinese team have that quad twist. They are, the winners at the Grand Prix final, so there's a whole mix of computations that may be playing out as we see Olivia Flores, who, essentially Olivia and Luke, they train with the Ukrainian team that have just competed, so they, might be tuning into that now too. It's for anybody that hasn't competed at a figure skating event, or maybe it's just me, but I'm pretty sure that for all of these athletes, their brain is constantly running with different thought processes. Our brain can handle so many thoughts at so many times, and it's just so important for the skaters to try to tune out and focus on the job in hand.
That's one of the things that Bruno was talking about, is trying to keep the focus at the task at hand. Don't get ahead of yourself, you get behind, just task at hand. And that's easy to say, as he said, but only words.
Yeah.
They have to do that.
And I mean, it's very rare for a skater to be able to use an external influence to fuel them to more. Ideally, they want to be so resolutely focused on their own game to deliver their personal best. There are some special athletes that can tap into what has happened around them to be able to extract better than they do in practice.
Yes. They get motivated by the competition, which is right in front of them. And some run away from that. They get nervous about it.
That was me.
And, okay. And, you know, for this team here, they have great technical elements. There's no question. And they probably are the leaders in the technical element department. But will they have that overall program? The Canadians might have a slight advantage, but they can't afford a big mistake, the Canadians.
And actually, talking of the two Canadian teams, of all the teams competing in this event, it is Eva and Jonathan that have the highest free skate score.
Yeah.
So,
there's the quad.
Oh, actually, that's very rare to see because having seen it on the Junior Grand Prix and in practice here, that has been seemingly such a comfortable element for the team.
I just looked too far back. But as we've seen these Chinese teams on the Junior Grand Prix circuit, who rules? Who's leading those teams? Mark?
Well, it's interesting. We saw Rui Guo and Yuan Zhang. I think it was in Riga, and they were competing there alongside their friends, Yu Shan-chan and Yin Bodong, and it was so amazing to see the camaraderie and the friendship between them all. And I think I'm perhaps wrong in assuming it, but so often I consider the Chinese skaters to be incredibly professional, businesslike, and disciplined. But it was lovely to see that just the friendship and camaraderie.
They were having a terrific time.
Really
the four of them were just going along together there, but the women, they were in charge.
Small but mighty.
Yeah.
There, Eva and Jonathan, and they, like Jasmine and Kieran, have been doubling up duties both at junior internationals and at senior international events. And
Eva and Jonathan have developed senior performance skills, where last year they were more junior and on. And of course, Sandra Besant, one of their team coaches, a great choreographer, of course, has helped them and really enjoyed that process herself. And she's probably watching right now back at home, I don't know. We see Jasmine and Kieran, and that was a great short program for this team. That was their best short of the year, and you could see that. And as Bruno was talking a little bit about managing now that expectations, they've never been in this spot, leading at a Junior World Championships, not knowing whether they ever get back to that level, right? So, you know, how does that all play in the mind?
And perhaps that kind of takes the monkey off their back, having struggled with short programs at previous events, and certainly at the Junior Grand Prix final. I mentioned yesterday that it was the short program that prevented them from medaling. Now, that's done. But what was interesting to hear from their coach, Bruno, was acknowledging when they were communicating with anybody in and around the venue following that success yesterday, it was to not engage with chat about yesterday's performance. They were to encouraged by their coach to, if should anybody be praising them for it, to try to move the conversation forward, because this, new day, new dawn, new job.
It was a very interesting conversation. I'm sure the other coaches have this as well, is how to manage their athletes, you know, in between those two programs and in these situations they've never been in before. And there we are. We just discovered we're on screen.
Oh, there's Jasmine's mom and dad, I think.
There
Jasmine
they are.
Deroche. We met them. I met them in Japan, and it was wonderful to hear the support that they have, of course, as all the parents and families do of their skaters.
Good recovery on that one. And now that tense music begins to set the stage.
You know, all the skaters, as I mentioned, were on this rink earlier today, but at no point in time did they have that music to contend with.
No. It's kind of exciting in a way, I think. And
Jasmine down on the throw.
Yeah. It's going to be up for Jasmine. I'm really that determination to fight for everything. It may not go perfect, but you've got to fight to get what you need.
And I suppose at this junction, we just so hope we should energetically put it out into the venue that we want everybody to have that clean skate.
We want everybody to skate their best and let the cards play where they are.
And it will be interesting because of the teams on the ice now, there are very different approaches, because obviously we had the likes of quad twist happening there. We see Rui Guo just struggling there too. So warm-ups haven't been optimal.
No.
But that counts.
But it's over.
For nothing in terms of the score. No. It just counts in the psychology and the preparation.
That's correct. And now the work is done for the coaches. The first team, they're out. They're gone. You know, there's not much to recover in time if they've had a tough warm-up. But the other teams get backstage, settle in, have a few words with their coach, can regroup if they've had a challenge on the practice or on the warm-up.
And certainly for the first team to compete, they do have lots of experience. They have been medalists at Junior World Championships before. They've competed at senior Grand Prix assignments, so they have a plethora of experiences from which to bank upon.
18-year-old Olivia Flores, 21-year-old Luke Wang from the United States.
And costumes appropriate as they skate to the music from Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. Well, a fabulous choreo sequence to conclude the program for Olivia Flores and Luke Wang.
Yeah, that was powerful and dramatic, no question. Some challenges within the program, though.
Yeah, that was a tough skate and such a shame because Olivia saw just such a glorious triple salto, double axel sequence just in the warm-up. If only she could have replicated that. And then what could be particularly problematic based on the pressure that they may feel from behind them, from Hannah and Ivan, their training mates, the twist element, as was the case in the short program, wasn't great. And the problem is that the Ukrainian team had a monstrously strong score on that element. So element to element, it'll be interesting to see what comes up, but I think that they might find themselves falling adrift behind what has happened already. As we see the same coach, Natalia Mishkatinok.
Well, you know, we don't always have the full stories of these athletes, and you were mentioning off air.
Oh, interesting you say that. The Olympic champion, Natalia, was explaining that she didn't want to use it as an excuse at all, but Olivia hasn't been well. She's been sick in preparation for this. As we see some of the highlights of the great choreographic transitional content this team has.
Yeah, and you know, it's not, these are not excuses, these are realities of what these athletes have to deal with, whether it's a minor injury or illness, and it's not easy, but they go out and they compete.
And you can see managing to get back on track with the 2 double axels, but a mistake already made in the initial element and actually a 2-footed landing, so quite a lot of implications there. And unfortunately, a fall on the triple toe too.
And there's the triple step out on that throw, but the last throw, she nailed it. She didn't stop the rotation on that first throw, but the second one, you'll see that hopefully in a moment. Look at that lift, just balancing on the base of her back. One hand, incredible. There's the second throw, gets out early enough, pushes the free leg back, stabilizes the landing. Here's the back outside death spiral. Which came in at a level 2, so missing 2 of those features as well. Just a bit of a scrambly program, a bit of a challenge here today.
And again, you know, interesting element on element. The other team did a forward inside death spiral, which is a lower base value, but they managed a level 4 versus a level 2 back outside death spiral. So losing comparatively. Actually, that said, forward inside death spiral level 4 is less than a back outside death spiral level 2, so I take that back.
Okay. Got yourself. Good correction. 92.03. Free program score for Olivia and Luke. That was third in the free program with a total competition score of 149.99 as they take over third place, at least for the moment, with 3 teams to come.
They have a flower crown.
Yeah, Olivia's still smiling. She's happy.
She's a joy.
Enjoying the moment. Our next team represents China. Ruby Guao and Yiwen Zhang, 14. She's just 14. Her birthday's coming up on Tuesday. Yiwen's 19 years of age.
And this team have had such great success internationally, being the Grand Prix final champions, but we saw just about 10 minutes or so ago some challenges both with some of the side-by-sides and the quad twist, which will open the program.
Some people long for a life that is simple and planned, tied with a ribbon. Some people won't sail the sea 'cause they're safer on land. To follow what's written, but I follow you to the words unknown. Of two worlds we call our own. And my hand that you promised to never let go. We're walking tightrope high in the sky. We
kings and queens, the politicians praise my name. The clothes of someone else's dreams, the pitfalls of the man I became. For years and years, I chased their cheers, the crazy speed of always needing more. But when I stop and see you here, I remember who all this was for.
Well, how amazing to see that despite that difficulty performance, despite the less than ideal finished position, that Rui Guo still has a smile on her face to put into context what's happened. And I think when we saw them so brilliant throughout the Junior Grand Prix series, we forget that she's just 14 years of age.
Yeah, we were just talking offline about that. It was a bit of a surprise because there were a lot of mistakes. We didn't see that in practice sessions on the Junior Grand Prix. We saw a couple little things in the performance, but very consistent. Completely trusted their abilities and technique, and you can see the partnership and camaraderie and the support for each other here as they get off the ice. That's terrific.
Isn't that brilliant to see? That's it's kind of warms my heart to know that, you know, there's support there, because, you know, this team, I think, will be disappointed to have found themselves in third place after the short program. Further disappointment to have had the catalogue of mistakes really littering that performance, and yet they have good
supporting
connection.
each other. And she has a little bit of a smile, probably wondering what happened in that program. That might drop them off the podium. But this is a very strong team. There's no question about that. A really bad day.
Yeah, and we will get treated to, despite the mistakes, we will get treated to seeing the only quad twist done. Not this wasn't done at the Olympic Games.
And that comes into level 3, so 3 out of the 4 features, almost a full 10 points off that one element. There's the throat triple flip. It is massive, and she just gets too far forward, slips off the edge. And that was a bit of the theme throughout the program. The double axels up into the single and fighting for the second double. And again, that ankle just collapses a little bit.
And then where this team does obviously excel is with ordinarily the likes of the quad twist, the huge throws, but then when those mistakes are made, they don't have as good a quality of skating skill. They're the forward outside death spiral,
which has the most value of the death spirals, and a lot of people don't quite like the look of that.
Yes.
But it does bring more value. Another fall a little bit later in the program there.
Interesting that the coach even seems accepting of it. So perhaps what we saw in warm-up not long ago is indicative of what has been happening.
Well, perhaps, but we also said we don't know what else is happening in these athletes' lives.
No.
It could have been an illness or an injury or something that, you know, set them off just a little bit. I mean, not making excuses. That's just the reality of life that they have to cope with under the pressure of a world championship. But who knows? We don't know. Don't want to speculate in that area. It was a tough skate, a tough day.
But I'm just buoyed by the interconnection here and the kiss and cry.
Me too. Well, it's an 88.49. That is 7th in the free program with a 146.83. That is 4th overall. They will not make a podium position here, and that will be disappointing for a very talented team.
And there we see now the Ukrainian team, Herrera and Kopta.
Yep.
He now has at least another bronze medal to add to.
With a new partner.
Yeah.
Our next team represents Canada. 17-year-old Eva Kemp, 22-year-old Jonathan Elizarov.
And the concept behind this, that Joni is a romantic poet, Eva, the elusive moonlight, guiding him with timeless force, wisdom, innocence, and beauty of nature. The track for this concept, Claude Debussy's Clair de Lune.
From Canada, Eva Kemp and Jonathan Elizarov, as we saw in the upper left-hand part of the screen, they were 2 points ahead technically of the current leaders. Had a couple of mistakes, but some beautiful moves as well, and beautiful sensitivity in the program.
Yes, and I just love the closing element, the back outside death spiral, to the phrasing of the music, so perfectly pitched. And this couple does have some points in hand, as you see some support from their competitors' parents. They have that 4-point margin, well, actually a larger margin above the leaders, Hannah and Ivan. And you could see some aspects that were benefiting them from their senior experiences this year. How costly, though, will the mistakes be? One quality side-by-side jumping pass, one quality throw, but equally another one of each, which was less than successful And a couple like Eva and Jonathan, they have so much experience. They're 4th Junior World Championships. Where's their brain space at? Do they now know that they have potential for a World Junior title as we see the success here?
Yeah, that was a great opening. Side-by-side triple Salchows, single axel. And there's the triple toe loop. This was a problem. Eva got outside the circle, a little loose in the air, took the fall. But this first throw, that was a beauty.
Nice smile and connection actually between the team. And the landing of that, of course. And the side-by-side jumps are where they probably have the advantage over the leaders after the short program. But unfortunately, the triple toe, of course, less than ideal. This was amazing ice coverage.
It was, yeah, absolutely right deep into the corner
and
on the dismount.
This is an homage to Katerina Gordieva and Sergei Grinkov, taking a lift from the 2-time Olympic champions and using it. And I love that finish position.
Yeah, it's beautiful. And you can see with Eva, probably thinking a little bit about the mistakes, but, they have improved so much. There's no question they've equalized their technical and performance capabilities to be improved for sure over the next couple of years. We'll take a look at their scores.
They only need 97.94 to stay ahead.
Yeah, they got that in spades here, 105.68. That is first in the free program. Total competition score of 167.90 as they take the lead, and there is one team to come, and it's their teammates. They would like to earn that medal, whatever color it's going to be, with a clean skate. Who wouldn't, right?
Too true.
But, it's good. They're putting that in perspective. They're happy with that result, but they would have been happier had they skated clean, because they can.
Yeah, and now their fate lies in the hands of the final team to compete.
Our next team from Canada, Jasmine DeRoche, Karen Thrasher. She's 19, he is 21. This is a very good team. Struggled a little bit this season. They find themselves in the lead after the short program.
And they have scored over 108 points this year when they competed at the Grand Prix final. If they can do something similar, they will become the Junior World Champions as they skate to the Led Zeppelin track, Since I've Been Loving You. The leaders after the short program, Canada's Jasmine Desrochers and Kieran Thrasher. Hard to compare Claire de Lune from the leaders in the literature there to Led Zeppelin from fellow Canadians. I think such a different approach, and in varying aspects, Jasmine and Kieran would lead from some of the judges' perspective and cross the components, but we could see the technical element score before that vacated the screen, and Jasmine and Kieran find themselves adrift by about 3 points from Eva and Jonathan, and so it's going to be hard for them to maintain that lead because they didn't have a huge margin of lead.
Yeah, and the scores for the PCs are pretty much the same. Maybe Jasmine and Kieran slightly more in some areas.
Interesting. I'd love to have a microphone close to hearing what Jasmine says to Coach Bruno. There was a real fight, though.
Oh, there was.
And
yeah.
I actually thought the speed and the ice coverage probably might have tipped that to Jasmine and Kieran.
Yeah, I agree. But that music lent to that. It was aggressive and powerful and down on their knees as they powered out of the corners. It was the difficult elements that were a little bit less. I mean, Jonathan and Eva did triple southpaw side by side in a really beautiful throw. You can see them just powering out of this corner here.
Good understrokes.
Yeah. Here's the double axel start the program, and they get that done. Fight for the landings. They do it up into the single axle. It's a good start.
There.
A little bit under.
Two-footed, under-rotated. Wow, done as a cue. Here we see the first of the throws, slightly more successful, but still that step out forces that negative grade of execution.
Great lifts, good ice coverage.
Yep, actually almost identical score on the Group 5 lift between the two Canadian teams. We saw a fall on the throw triple southpaw in warm-up, and unfortunately that repeated itself in the performance.
Back outside death spiral a little bit later in the program, comes into level 3. The lifts are their strengths.
Actually, I'm just noticing now though that the pairs combo spin, the final element, that's got a V, so it didn't satisfy all the requirements. So this was so cool. I love this trick, part of their choreo sequence. And commitment right to the end from Jasmine. So
they would need, really looking probably now at the silver. What would they need for that?
They will need 97.32 and above to stay in second. And now Eva and Jonathan have to wait to find out what's going to happen. But either way, Canada's had a good day in terms of results in this pairs event.
Yes. There's the score, 99.41. That is 4th in the free program with a total competition score of 162.25, and that will give them the silver medal. And they're happy with that. You know, it was a new experience for them to be in the lead after the short program. So add that to the bag of experiences that you need as you move forward.
And the coach of the Olympic champions that has the World Junior silver medalist in a successful season for Bruno and team.
And they're the Junior World champions. Eva Kemp and Jonathan Elizarov as the smiles grow on their face.
Measured reaction, but look, that is just like at the Olympic Winter Games, the juniors replicating the camaraderie, friendship and respect that we saw from the seniors in Milan as well. Now Eva's got to speak on microphone. I wonder if that's perhaps just as daunting for her.
No, she's got a good grip on that microphone. I can see it. I think she wants it. Yeah, way to go, team. Stressful moment, new experience for them both to be in position to take a junior world title. And knowing what their strengths were and their weaknesses and hoping and working to make sure their weaknesses, those areas that are vulnerable, were at least done to a certain level, and it didn't happen for, you know, it wasn't a clean skate actually in any of these performances, I don't think.
No, and actually interestingly, it was the Ukrainian team who've taken the bronze that were second on the free skate. Yeah.
So we take a look at the final standings, 167.90. for Eva and Jonathan, 162.25 for Jasmine and Kieran and Hannah and Ivan, 160.15. Your top three, your medal winners.
And what that does is, as we have said before throughout the course of this event, facilitate more participation for the Canadian teams on the Junior Grand Prix.
Yes. They've done well in dance and pair skating for sure, and have, you know, a full complement of opportunities on the Junior Grand Prix. It's in the singles that always a little bit of a challenge. There's so much talent around the world, and it's a tough one. So we see some of the folks in the stands. And there we are, some Canadian, some tears.
Of course.
Now we have here the World Junior Champions in pair skating from Canada, Eva Kemp and Jonathan Elizarov. Congratulations! You just became the World Junior Champions. What emotions are running through you right now?
I'm not even sure right now.
We're just so happy to be here, and that program was, you know, not the easiest to get through. We were a bit nervous. But we're just happy with the performance and happy with the result.
Yeah.
All right, but how do you plan to celebrate the victory?
Well, I'm just so happy our teammates got on the podium as well, so we're going to celebrate with them later, yeah.
But now the stage is yours. You can use your words, you can say something to your fans, to your family, or anyone.
Thank you for the support, especially this season. It's been a long season, but it's helpful. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Yeah, applause. Amazing. But now you got this big title. You are now the champions. But what is the next goal on your list?
We're just going to keep working. We have so many things to work on. This program definitely wasn't perfect, so we have things to work on.
Yeah, I think now we're just going to reset for the next season and go from there.
But what is your favorite thing in figure skating? Why you chose this?
Our partnership, I think. We've been together for 5 years, and this journey has been a long one, but there's so much more to go, and I'm just excited for the ride.
Yeah.
All right, thank you so much. Congratulations again, and let's make one more big applause for the winners.
Well, there we go. You know, not a lot of experience or opportunity to have to be in a live interview as the champions of the World Junior Championships. Wow, it's amazing. You can see them. Okay, we got to give an answer here.
Well, the interviewer wasn't letting them up. She wanted to get words out of the champions.
She was digging. She was going, you know, and, you know, it is a little bit awkward, and you're not sure what to say because it's all a surprise, and it all happened so quickly.
And that, you know, will be something that Eva and Jonathan will have to consider as they move towards seniors, because hopefully that experience of speaking in front of an audience, being so successful, will be something that they enjoy much more ahead.
No question. And, you know, they had their folks in the stands and, you know, people back home to thank and whatnot as we take a look at some highlights to the top three teams.
Yeah, what an achievement for a new partnership. Hannah Herrera and Ivan Kopta, former world junior bronze medalist from 2 seasons ago. Hannah is so new to this discipline, and they benefiting perhaps from performing earlier in the course of the competition.
No expectations.
Yeah.
They were the hunters. And they did a great job.
And excited to see, as we mentioned, following their performance, what will come for this team, as is the case for all of the medalists who likely transcend into the senior ranks next season.
You can see her love and passion for and the discovery of the pair discipline. She's bought in all the way.
And although it's a silver following their lead after the short program, Jasmine Desrochers and Kieran Thrasher will be delighted to leave Tallinn, Estonia with a World Junior Championship medal, a team that have competed at the World Juniors before, but they were only 8th last year, moving up to take second, a team so expressive.
Yeah, they're building, you know, over time, but these types of experiences only add to the necessary requirements to grow as a team together. They have wonderful personalities on the ice in the program, some challenges on technical elements that will be dealt with.
And it was the technical element score strength that helped Eva Kemp and Jonathan Elizarov to move up ahead of their teammates from Canada. Canada being victorious, taking top and silver medal positions in Tallinn, Estonia.
There's a beautiful throw, solid landing. And as they mentioned in their interview, it wasn't a perfect skate, so they want to get back to work and, master those skills that caused a few problems here. But they are the Junior World Champions.
What an achievement both for them and coaches Kevin Daw and Lee Barkell.
Well, you can stay online to watch the medal ceremonies. We hope you've enjoyed the coverage here on day 2. Tomorrow, Mark, what do we have?
We have the start of the ice dance event. The rhythm dance will commence, then followed by the men's free skate.
It's going to be a great day tomorrow, day number 3 here at the Junior World Championships. For all of us here at the ISU, I'm Ted Barton, along with Mark Hanratty. Thank you for watching. Good night, everyone.
ISU ilusuttamise juunioride maailmameistrivõistlused 2026. Ammuine tseremoonia. Juuniorid paarissõit.
ISU Figure Skating Junior World Championships 2026 Victory Ceremony Junior Pairs.
tema annab üle medalid.
He will award the medals. Please welcome the mayor of Tallinn, he will award the flowers.
Daamid ja härrad, kui teil on võimalus, palume võitjate riigihümni ajaks püsti tõusta.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you can, please stand for the national anthem of the winner.
Daamid ja